This is QTV News. I am Mamadou Gajaga and thanks for joining us. Coming up tonight, President Adama Barrow decorated 42 promoted military officers and he reaffirms government commitment to having a professional army. The United States of America is committed to supporting the Gambia, says Ambassador Pashal, as civil-military relations training ends. Following the fatal car accident in Pirang last week, the Fonyi Youth Development Association has embarked on a sensitization for drivers. For more on this and other stories, stay tuned. Thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. We begin with news about President Adama Barrow decorating military officers. President Adama Barrow, who doubles as the Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, on Friday presided over the decoration of 42 promoted military officers. Aliou Cisse was there, and this is his report.
The latest promotion of senior officers numbering 42 came after what the Army Command said a due process spearheaded by a promotional board. Administered by the Secretary to Cabinet Ibrahim Cisse, each of the officers took the prescribed oath of allegiance to the Commander-in-Chief, the state and the Gambian people. 36 officers were promoted from captains to majors and 6 from majors to lieutenant colonels. It was the first time that President Barrow, as the Commander-in-Chief, was presiding over such an event. He has not visited any military camp since coming into power in December 2016. In addressing the newly elevated officers, Barrow said the military cannot be left out in attaining any meaningful development. He described the decoration as timely, while urging them to redouble their efforts in discharging their responsibilities with honesty.
The sore reality is that the military cannot be left behind if we want to develop this country meaningfully. Therefore, the promotions and decoration of these officers in our midst is very timely indeed. On behalf of the entire government and the people of the Gambia, I congratulate all of them on their well-deserved achievement.
According to him, reports reaching him indicate that promotion in the army in the past was unjust. This, he vowed, will not happen under his government. Barrow urged the newly promoted officers to be good role models.
To all the officers who have been promoted, I say, you have been accorded a great privilege. But you must note that promotions come with additional responsibilities and challenges. Therefore, you are required to redouble your efforts in order to live to the expectations associated with your new ranks.
While promotion comes with added privileges and increase in pay, the Chief of Defense Staff, Masane Kinte, who had held the same rank under former President Jammeh, commended the current government for its stance in having a professional and highly motivated army devoid of tribalism and politics.
I am happy to report that these officers decorated here today have distinguished themselves by successfully going through a professional process that was instituted by my office. I convened a board headed by the Deputy Chief of Defense Staff and gave them comprehensive guidelines which are in accordance with international best practices and the terms and conditions of service 1993, which were religiously followed. I can report that, Your Excellency. The board was able to come up with a challenging promotion exam in which officers were given various research and presentation topics. They completed these tasks within the prescribed time frame and made their submissions successfully.
Promotion in the army, like in all other institutions, is seen as a source of inspiration for the young men and women already serving in the armed forces. It is now up to the officers to prove they are worthy of their promotion.
This promotion goes a long way to indicate amount of trust and confidence reposed on us, whilst at the same time it is an indication for us to live up to expectations.
Analysts say the latest move by Barrow could be viewed as an attempt to win the loyalty of the top command of the Gambia Armed Forces, as the mandate of the economic is set to be ending in August this year. There has been mistrust between the Barrow government and the security forces believed to be loyal to former President Jammeh. As a result, the government has embarked on a security sector reform. In March this year, the Standard newspaper reported that the EU representative Attila Lajos said he cannot assure that the EU will continue to support the economic if their mandate is extended again, adding that the EU has spent 22 million euros on the economic. He was reported to have said he believed prolonging their presence in the country will only reflect a seemingly fragile security situation in the Gambia. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
The United States of America's ambassador to the Gambia, Paschal, said his country is committed to supporting the Gambia. He made this comment at the end of a 4-day training on civil-military relations. QTV's Ansumana Eso-Nyasi was in attendance, and this is his report.
The training brought together 55 participants drawn from the media, civil service and personnel of various security services. Spearheaded by the Gambia Armed Forces, the training was facilitated by faculty associates at the Institute for Security Governance under the purview of the U.S. Department of Defense. Speaking at the event, the U.S. Ambassador to the Gambia, His Excellency Richard Paschal, assured of the U.S. government's unflinching support towards the realization of the country's security reform agenda. Whilst highlighting the importance of the training, he enjoined participants to make best use of the experience gained and serve as ambassadors in strengthening civil-military relations.
It is my sincere hope that once you all depart this officers' mess today, you will go out into your communities and your organizations and will use the skills and knowledge that you obtained here this week, and you leverage those relationships and partnerships that you established across agency boundaries and guidelines and with your civilian counterparts in the press and the NGO community, that you leverage those contacts and those skills to help achieve many of the Gambia's ambitious National Development Plan objectives. Never forget that without security and peace, and collaboration and cooperation, there can be no economic growth or prosperity.
The Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Masane N. Kinte, expressed gratitude to the U.S. Embassy for partnering with GAF to provide such training. He also highlighted the importance of strengthening civil-military relations to the achievement of government's development objectives.
This is all to ensure that we are able to lay the foundation for great achievements in the development and capacity building of our society and our security personnel, and as well as the civilian counterparts. This is a laudable project sponsored by the United States Office of Security Cooperation. It is gratifying to note that a total of 55 participants drawn across different walks of life have benefited from this very important training. Since the advent of the new Gambia, the government has begun a reform and transformation crusade. The aim of this transformation is to ensure that our dear country is redirected back on course towards the path of meaningful growth and development.
Speaking on behalf of the participants, Captain Lamin Jabang said the training has given participants an opportunity to share experiences and understand the misperceptions that continue to hamper military-civil relations.
This training indeed could not have come at a better time than now. And I would therefore say bravo to Gambia Armed Forces, CDS, and our American counterparts. We have learned a lot during these 3 days, sir. We now understand how our government is supposed to run and manage the affairs of the people democratically, and how we are secure and how we as security personnel on the Ministry of Defense should participate or comport ourselves in the charge of our responsibilities as indicated in the framework of our constitutional mandate.
This training is the third of its kind. It was held in 2007 and 2018. The cornerstone of democracy, government and governance, contributions of non-state actors and security sector mapping are among the many topics covered during the training. The event was graced by retired Colonel Mamadou Badji, National Security Advisor, Brigadier General Mahmoud O. Cham, Commander of the Gambia National Army, and Commodore Madani Senghor, Commander of the Gambia Navy, amongst other dignitaries. Ansumana Eso-Nyasi for QTV News.
The Minister of Women, Children and Social Welfare Friday continued her familiarization tour in the West Coast region. As Ajibintu Drame reports, the tour is aimed at giving Minister Kinte a first-hand information of what is obtained in those institutions.
The tour took the minister and delegation to the Regional Women's Bureau and Social Welfare in Birkama, West Coast region, and the Standard Chartered Bank Child Care Center in Talinding in the KMC. The tour, according to ministry officials, is meant to give the minister first-hand information in order to seek solutions where challenges exist. While welcoming the minister, Bakari K. Sanyang, governor of West Coast Region, described the tour as timely. He shared with the minister some suggestions on how to improve the ministry.
If you also want to expand their office, it looks small to me also. And in terms of your plans to increase staff, there will definitely be room in these quarters here for you to put up a structure for them if you have the funding. So maybe you may also want to scout funding for that. And the first issue I said, when it comes to headquarters, I'm sure I can allocate a place we can find a place, suitable place for that department in this division. So I want you to take note of that also. I also have a concern about the Women's Bureau, because I know I work with the councillors, the women councillors, which are all part of the Women's Bureau. But and I also want you to consider the sort of allowances that are being paid to them, because my understanding is that they are paid quarterly. I think every 3 months, and they are only given $1,000.
The minister was told by officials of Women's Bureau and Social Welfare that the limited office space in Birkama was hindering their work. Speaking further, Governor Bakari K. Sanyang used the tour to congratulate Fatou Kinte on her appointment. In response to the challenges raised, Madam Fatou Kinte, Minister of Women, Children and Social Welfare, says the issue of space will be dealt with. She said the tour is among many she will embark on in the future.
The issue of space we will also look at into consideration, because the office size, I'm told, is small, and when you consider issues of confidentiality, it means that it has to be broadened so that people can come in, discuss their issues in privacy, and are able to leave. And the issue of additional staff, I think that's also very important. If you consider what social welfare does, it requires a lot of work. So I will require all of us to work together and try to see how best we can partner together and support each other's efforts, and make sure that we do everything together, cut down on cost, and achieve a big result. When you work as an independent person, it's very expensive, and it's not always easy to achieve results. But when you work together, you work in synergy and partnership, you cut down on cost, and you're able to achieve a lot of results.
From Birkama, the minister visited Standard Chartered Bank Child Care Center. Michael Jaju, CEO Talinding Children Health Center, explained why the building fails to operate.
Because if you see before, all these places were really structured and very furnished. So now what happened is that now they are trying to, they even have a plan, an action plan, whereby they are trying to renovate everything. Currently, whatsoever they generate, is what they will be using now to able to some of the structures here. Even if you see there is some of the pictures that how before, then how it was, and quality is quite different.
West Coast Region is the largest region in the Gambia, habited by 37% of Gambia's population, making it prone to crimes. Haruna Baji, head of Social Welfare West Coast Region, said over 1,000 cases on gender-based violence and children-related disputes have been reported since the department was established. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
And now to other stories. Socialists for Gambia celebrates 20 years of providing free education to the community of Brufut and beyond through the construction of a kindergarten and lower basic school. It all began in 1999 in the streets of Ghanatown, Brufut, when late Brigitte Flick, a German philanthropist, visited the Gambia. During her visit, she found out that a huge number of children weren't attending school and was motivated to start Socialists for Gambia to provide free education. Jenna Bosonko reports.
Education gives knowledge of the world around and changes it into something better. It is important for a country to grow. It also makes people better citizens. Educated people are often aware of the socio-economic scenarios of a country, which is important for progress. Sani Mentoring School, funded by Socialists for the Gambia, claims it provides quality education despite the fact that it is free. The 20-year celebration was motivated by the success the school has registered over the years. Coordinator Socialists for the Gambia, Hatta Bi, justifies that he is not Africans that get funding from organizations for their personal gain. He explains the funding procedure and more.
When the association is formed by charity, by membership, And we have about we started with 6 members, but now we are about 400 members. At the end of every month, each member contributes €10 towards this association. And this is the fund that is plowed back to the Gambia, that we are providing free education. We pay the teachers, we make the infrastructures, we buy the stationery, we buy the uniform, we buy food because everything is here is free. I mean, the reason why I'm here up to 20 years is because I have the trust of the Germans. And I see that, the funds are meant for Gambian. I don't have the opportunity to provide free school for Gambia. But if I see sponsors who are able to do that and they channel this money through me, I have to make sure that these funds are utilized in the proper way. This is why we are celebrating these 20 years of hard work and dedication.
Co-president Socialist for the Gambia, Thomas, said the organization wants to give a bright future to Gambians.
We think education is the best against immigration, and we want the students could live here in Gambia and build the country. Yeah?
Sorifa Tijalo is an ex-student of the school and founder of GAM Designers. According to her, the school doesn't only focus on academics, but also teaches students core values.
School only groom legends, I would put it, because when I came to this school, then I was 8 years from a village called Nyamina Dankunku. I came here, and you know how the environment gets for people from the village and direct to the urban life. But this school made it very easy for me. And learning from this school, I would say, is the best experience that I've gone throughout my academic career. And not just me, but all my other colleagues that I graduated with, because we all are doing amazingly well in our various fields. I am amongst the first people to graduate from this school. We are the first batch, actually. That's why we got invited today. Yes, and this school don't only give free education as other schools or other institutions will do, but their free education comes with quality education. These are people that are working day and night tirelessly to give their students the best when it comes to academics. And I am a living witness of that.
She adds that her siblings are currently attending the school, which shows that her parents are satisfied with the services provided by the school. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Basonko.
Following the fatal car crash in Pirang last week, which left 6 people dead, the Fonyi Youth Development Association on Thursday embarked on a sensitization program for Fonyi Brikama drivers. Ajibintu Drame tells us more.
A week ago, a fatal accident occurred on the Birkama-Pirang highway involving 6 people who lost their lives. It also left several injured. The sensitization program by the Fonyi Youth Development Association is prompted by the latest car accident, with tragedy left 6 dead. The accident occurred while 2 vehicles collided along the Fonyi-Birkama road. Almame Jiba, Secretary General, Fonyi Youth Development Association, says the drivers need to unify and fight against accidents. He equally called for the involvement of the police in this endeavor. This sensitization, he said, will continue to other regions.
As the police high command, we are all unified. One, to make sure we have a safe driving road, irrespective of where the car is heading to.
Omar Marong, Clark Birkama Mobile Traffic, gave a detail on the number of accidents that occurred since 2018. He says chief of the garage should find it mandatory to advise the young drivers.
Digante Kalaji ñew be Abuko soko sete 2018 to 2019.
Between Kalaji to Abuko, 51 fatal accidents occurred from 2018 to 2019. And from Fonyi to Kalaji to Block, 81 fatal accidents occurred, 21 deceased involving 17 male and 4 female. For the men, the age range from 25 to 50 years. This is disheartening.
Chief of the garage gave few words of advice to the young drivers.
My advice will go to all drivers because this is important. Their roles are important because they drive presidents, religious leaders, etc. But due to the way they misbehave on traffic, cause a lot of accidents. Always drive with care and know that all lives are important.
Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
The Citizen Executive Committee of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has been launched at the Nigerian High Commission in the Gambia. Bubakar Fati has more details.
The ECOWAS Citizen Executive Committee was established by the ECOWAS citizens of all 15 member states residing in the Gambia, with the support of the ECOWAS Permanent Mission and the ECOWAS Ambassador Solidarity Forum in the Gambia. It is said to be an apolitical group devoid of religion and ethnicity, which caters for the welfare of all ECOWAS citizens in the Gambia. Amongst the objectives are to bring together all ECOWAS citizens residing in the Gambia, to foster unity and strengthen the brotherhood and sisterhood love and care, to engage in humanitarian activities to improve the social and economic well-being of all the member states. Vabake Glofo, the special representative of ECOWAS to the Gambia, said the coming together of ECOWAS member states in the Gambia is very monumental, and through this initiative, their voices will be heard.
It's a clear message. ECOWAS is moving from ECOWAS of state to ECOWAS of people. And if the people come together and say, this is what we want to do, this is how we want to be treated, this is the way we have to go, I am sure we'll be here to listen. And I'm very, very happy also for the reception, for the Lord Mayor, for the city mayors to be here. Because many of them serve as hosts to almost all the citizens around here from the ECOWAS sub-region. And we know that also Honorable Alifa Silla himself has been very, very active. He talks on every issue.
The symbolic aspect of the inauguration ceremony was the swearing-in of members of the ECOWAS Citizen Committee. President of the ECOWAS Citizen Executive Committee, Michael, gave the inaugural speech. He explained the significance of the official inauguration ceremony to the ECOWAS citizens residing in the Gambia.
A historic day. It is a historic day because this is the very first time we, the citizens of ECOWAS member states, have come together as one. And this dream has become a reality with the invaluable support of the ECOWAS Permanent Mission in the Gambia, the ECOWAS Ambassador Solidarity Forum in the Gambia, ESOFIG, and the Gambia government.
Members of the organizing committee for the 2018 ECOWAS Day were also certified to recognize their hard work and support in the successful organization of the ECOWAS Day. Bawakar Fati, reporting for QTV News.
Before we end this bulletin of the news, let's take a quick look at our main news stories. President Adama Barrow decorates 42 promoted military officers and reaffirms government's commitment to having a professional army. The United States of America is committed to supporting the Gambia, says Ambassador Paschal, as civil-military relations training ends. Following the fatal car accident in Pirang last week, the Fonyi Youth Development Association embarked on a sensitization for drivers. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Thank you very much for joining us. Until we come your way tomorrow, bye for now.